UPES. University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, UPES, is a multidisciplinary university with 8 schools now. And it is a university with a purpose, and the single purpose being to make nation builders and create professionals who are competent to serve the society and be good professionals. I head one of the schools of UPS, and we are here. I'm joined with me, Ms. Poonam Verma. She is partner J. Sagar Associates, and we have Ms. Tatiana from the University of Law. We all understand that you all are going through a crucial juncture of deciding your career choice and would have several questions in your mind. And basically this webinar would focus upon the key questions which you have in your mind while deciding for a law college. To further guide us and provide us professional insight into the questions we have with us, Ms. Poonam Verma, as I said, partner at one of the leading law firms in India, J. Sagar and Associates. Ms. Poonam practices in the Apex Court, and we are privileged to have her on our advisory board as well. And our second panelist, Ms. Tatiana, is Director of International Partnerships at the University of Law, London, UK. Nowadays, internationality has become an important area to look at while deciding your future. And UPS has an MOU for academic partnership with ULaw, which entails a number of things, including student exchange, faculty exchange, work on curriculum design and development, guidance on the curriculum aspect. So to begin with, who could be the better to tell us more about the internationality and how looking at the international exposure and dimension is important for a student in deciding a university or a college. Over to you, Ms. Tatiana, for your insight into this particular aspect.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. Hello, everybody from London. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay Sai, for your kind invitation to join this important initiative today. I am deeply honored to be speaking to you here and to these young, soon-to-be law students. I am the Deputy Pro-Vice Chancellor for the University of Law, focusing on international partnerships. And I would also like to present a little bit our university and the international partnership activity we have with UPS in India. I don't know how much you know about the University of Law, but we are one of the oldest institutions. We were established around 200 years ago, and we are a specialist law university. We believe that we have trained more lawyers in English law than any other law school. At the moment, we operate in 15 different campuses in the UK and 2 international campuses, one in Hong Kong and one in Germany. Our law students are approximately 12,000, and we are very proud of our 100,000 alumni. These will include members of the UK Parliament and the Mayor of London. In the next slide, I think that we can see a snapshot of our campuses. This is how the University of Law looks in the UK. So moving forward, as Dr. Vijay said, we have an important partnership collaboration established with the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies some time ago, and why that would make us different is part of the discussions today. As I said, both institutions are long established, and the law school that Dr. SAI is leading is a specialist provider of legal education. Also, we are proud of our alumni members and providing our students excellent network opportunities through them. We have an excellent quality record academic-wise, which places the University of Law at the top of the most reputable UK universities in the field of law studies. And also we have an award-winning pro bono team that links our students with practical legal skills and over 3,000 opportunities to work during their studies. In the next slide, we would like to give you a snapshot of our courses being delivered in partnership with UPES. We concentrate mainly on postgraduate degrees for the moment. So you will see a plethora of qualifications in law, including a wide portfolio of LLM courses. These are either face-to-face or online, and due to the partnership with UPS, these are offered to UPS students in a preferential tuition price. And on top of that, we are expanding opportunities for international summer school activities, study abroad programs, face-to-face delivery by our UK tutors in India, faculty and student exchange, and many opportunities within the research. So for us, it is a very exciting moment to see this partnership flourishing and developing. And we very much hope that we will welcome you in our universities, and we will be able to provide you with all the skills for you being aspiring future lawyers. Dr. Vijay, I think you're on mute. Dr. Vijay, I think you're on mute.
The Ms. Tatiana is Director International Partnerships at ULaw, and thank you, Tatiana, for
You're
providing
very
this
welcome.
brief outline about the partnership. And I must tell you that one of the important things which is there for any law curriculum nowadays is having an understanding about the international perspective of it. And what
Yeah,
could be better than having providing the students an exposure to international faculty in the classrooms and providing them an overview of an international curriculum, allowing them to know that how legal practice happens across, because now we are in a borderless world. There is a trade happening. There is a international economics happening, and a lot of internationality has crept into all our daily lives. And I'm sure the
exactly.
this international perspective is not untouched for when we talk about a profession like law. And I find that there is a huge requirement of bringing this particular interface of internationality into the things which
Yeah,
we do. And
thank
indeed,
you.
international exposure is important. So is important about talking that what would be the insights which will be required, or what these fresh uh, graduates or who want to have the law degree, what would be the industry interface to it, and how do you look at curriculum? So one of the second important thing which people look at is about the curriculum, that how the curriculum is designed, how
Yeah,
robust the curriculum is from the industry perspective. And one of the important elements in this is to have a proper advisory board who advises you on your curriculum, and they give you an insight about the latest developments and latest changes which are happening into the industry, and that actually loops into your course and program which you are delivering. And for this purpose, at UPS, we have an excellent advisory board with senior members like Honorable Justice Swatantra Kumar. We have Rajat Dariwal from Khaitan, Anurag Batra from Business World, and we have Ms. Poonam Verma here from J Sagar. Thank you, ma'am, for being here and joining us. It is an honor for us to have you on this webinar as well as on advisory board. Recently, we had an advisory board meeting and you had a chance to visit us and interact with the faculty and students. Would you like to share your experience about this and guide our webinar participants and give your thought process as to the legal profession?
Thank you, Dr. Vijay, for your kind words. A very warm welcome to everyone and a very good afternoon. Hope everyone is keeping well and keeping safe in this difficult time. It's a privilege, as Dr. Vijay mentioned, I'm a part of their advisory board, and it's a privilege and honor for me to be part of their advisory board of their prestigious institution. So recently, I had a chance to visit UPES campus, as Dr. Vijay just mentioned, and I can say with confidence that the campus is world class with all amenities in place. It's to begin with, it's a beautiful campus. It is surrounded by the hills. You can see hills. The infrastructure facilities are top class. Whether you talk about the library, the e-facilities that are available in the library, the research, the reading material, everything is available at a touch of a button. The way they have embraced technology is excellent. The teachers, the faculty members, the students, everybody is there, at least we noticed, is embracing technology in the best way that they can, and they are working on it and improving it on a daily basis. And what better day to talk about technology than now? Today, in the corona situation, everybody is so dependent on technology. Nobody is able to function without embracing technology. So what we observed in UPES is everything is technologically advanced. Students and teachers are able to utilize the tools to impart that knowledge. And the environment overall was very good, and the students are quite enthusiastic to be part of the institution. They, as I said, they are embracing technology. Generally, when we talk to students or be students, they are now skeptical as to how we or our role will pan out when we become lawyers, considering AI is becoming huge in the industry. So it was overwhelming to hear the faculty and the students that they are very confident about themselves and they are not scared of AI. They know how to work around it and to use it to their advantage. That's the beauty of the students in UPES. They were fully equipped to deal with the challenges that the future may have, or they may actually want to call it as advantages to themselves rather than challenges or disadvantages. As I said, we are now noticing that technology is keeping our daily lives active. Otherwise, we would have, at least I would not have known how to actually function. It's actually as it is the way it used to be earlier. So as far as technology is concerned, this is what it is. The institute, Dr. Vijay, he himself is so qualified, and the way he takes interest in his students, he takes personal interest. He may have conversations with each and every student, and it gives you a feeling of the culture that he is trying to build or inculcate in the students. And that speaks volumes of an institution when you see that things are flowing from the top. And if students notice it, then of course they are the future of the country. They are future lawyers. When they are good human beings, they automatically will become very good lawyers, very good nation builders, and we all be very proud of those human beings. To begin with, I would just limit myself to that because I know the time is limited and we have to cover many aspects considering the opportunities that
Yeah,
students
definitely. Thank you, Ms. Poonam. It was really, thank you for the good words. I must tell, we have got webinar participants across, and these webinar participants are, of course, thinking about joining law as a profession. And I'm sure some of the parents are also attending this particular webinar because they are all concerned about their wards as to what is the future opportunities available in the legal sector. And this is one of the major questions which arises for our students. And if I have to pose this particular question to both of you, in short, if you can tell us that what are the opportunities available in law, in particular, if you can address also in the present times, because now we cannot have a discussion without corona. So all webinars and all topics are at least having a component on this COVID and how it is going to impact the legal profession, or what would be the impact. But I personally feel that there is not much of an impact because there is so much of opportunities available in the legal sector. It is not only one directional, there is multi-directional. And in fact, scarcity like this, in fact, creates more opportunities in terms of, contracts, in terms of things. So over to you, Tatiana. We'll begin with you, and then with Ms. on this particular aspect, the opportunities available in the law field.
Thank you, Dr. Sai. Well, I will answer the question from an educational perspective, which I think it is more relevant to my role today in this conversation. I think that one of the attributes would be for the law aspirant to have analytical thinking and the ability to understand and digest great volumes of information. They would also need to be realistic in the solutions that they provide to problems that they come across. Another skill, we would say that very much attached to time management. So as students, they will enter challenging programs of studies with lots of assignments and preparation. So they will need to be able to create a routine and prioritize their items. Having said that, this is a key skill for professionals as well. So this is something that they will be able to build during their studies, but also to apply in their professional life as well. Then I guess that next it would be for students to be able to build on excellent communication skills. Oral, written, listening skills are very essential. Sometimes there are public speaking skills required as well. And a center-focused, client-oriented approach for any future lawyer would also be essential, as years are now somehow driving us through a direction who show us that there are no solitudes and there are no environments within professional practices that don't mingle with other practitioners or professionals as well. So collaborating and working with others in different disciplines across all professions are very much the requirements of a future lawyer. Having said that, I guess that my colleague Verma also touched on the use of technology and how important it is for the future lawyer to be adept in the use and use comfortably technology. We know that the introduction of artificial intelligence on the later years have brought a lot of progress in the practices that many of us use, and this is now very much changed the scene about what a traditional lawyer would have been some years ago. In UPS and in the University of Law, we're working very hard to design programs of studies that they are at the edge of these technological advancements. And we are very proud to offer to you a range of postgraduate degrees that they are specializing in aspects like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, law and legal practices, and how these are all embedded in any future technology. So over to you, Verma.
That is a great insight actually, that tells us that the standard curriculum which students enroll is not sufficient in the 5 years, because
Yeah,
these students who are going to get enrolled and take an admission are going to pledge their 5 years.
yeah,
And during this particular period, there will be several developments. And as you can see, the developments which are happening today, no one would have imagined when they took admission somewhere around in 2016 or
yeah,
2015 that this will be a situation. So
exactly.
one thing is very important is about agility, developing agility and
Yeah,
transforming themselves in between. And that is what is being offered by way of additional skills to these students. And this can happen by way of maybe adding some additional programs and courses like Coursera. And we are very happy and proud to tell you people that we are having around 3,800 plus Coursera courses available for our students, which they enroll, and they can continue their education into different other domains and streams, which doesn't form part of the usual curriculum or a regular curriculum. So this definitely offers an opportunity and brings the students at an edge. So while deciding a place, they should also look at this particular aspect, that what kind of a edge they are getting over the other students, because there are number of plenty of students. So over to you, Ms. Poonam. What do you think? What are the opportunities available in this area and field? Because our participants are also asking this particular question as to which are the opportunities available in the legal field, and particularly in the present times.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. I completely echo the thoughts of Dr. Vijay and Tatiana. You've covered quite a lot of canvas here. But in order to decide a law school, I would like to say that there's a general philosophy which has a threefold plan, which is dream a little, be realistic, and be safe. You have to figure out what you really want to do. Earlier, gone are the days when you used to decide law because you had no other option. But now we are in a competitive scenario where you're looking at your interests, where you're looking at your strengths, and then probably you're choosing the school. Here in UPES, you have a mix of everything together. The kind of courses that they are offering, the association with ULaw, which gives you an international experience, and the capacity building that they're offering is actually very, very helpful for any law student. Talking about opportunities, let me not take too much time. Everybody knows that you can be a lawyer, of course, then judge, you can be part of NGO, you can be in-house counsel, you can be a public interest litigant, you can definitely be in a law firm, you can be a professor, etc. There are many opportunities available, and these are since times immemorial, you can do that. But now, with the new this pandemic, what we are seeing, the opportunities that will be available to the law students going forward is the jobs in energy sector, the jobs in water sector, the jobs for gas. Because if you're following the news these days, these are areas which are essential services. Therefore, these will be the industries which will obviously be looking for more and more lawyers, more experts to help the situation, to build it. You would have noticed in the power sector in the last 15, 20 days, the kind of movements that have happened up and down, the kind of circulars that have been um, issued by the government. That's one area that will be catching the attention. Then tech law is again going to be a very big thing. At a very nascent stage. If the students who are going to be lawyers, if they are focusing on their skills in technology, tech law will be another way to go. Then IoT, Internet of Things, is something that will again have huge prospects. Not to mention, of course, no, I should not forget food industry, because it is also a part of your essential services. These industries will have a lot of opportunities. I don't know if I'm forgetting something else. If it comes to me, I will come back to it. But don't worry if there is a challenge that we are facing right now. We will be able to overcome it. As Dr. Vijay said, that we should look at it as an opportunity that we have. Probably these were the sectors which were being ignored by us, but now we realize that these are essential, and these will always be essential and will be integral part of our living. Therefore, we start focusing on these sectors, build our skill set accordingly, and the sky will be the limit for these areas. So don't worry if the students are thinking that what will be our future. It is a problem that we all will be facing, but let's look at the opportunities that is bringing on board. And Tatiana has also covered what are the strengths that a student or a future law student should be looking at. Of course, logical thinking goes without saying. One has to have attention to detail. A person should be able to learn from and communicate with others. And it is appropriate for anyone to be an enthusiastic debater who enjoys participating in arguments and who is not offended by alternative viewpoint, because that's a very important aspect of a lawyer. You will obviously have a different point of view from the opposite side. It should not offend you. You should be able to meet that argument. So you should learn to have preparation from both sides, because that is what will make you as a established or successful lawyers. One who comes up with clever solutions to difficult problems often excel as students. So of course I can go on and on onto this, but I would like to give some time to Dr. Vijay so that he can control the conversation. You're on mute, I think.
Yeah, on this particular point, I would like to take this particular thread ahead. And, I see your CV, Ms. Poonam, and you have worked in two major specialized areas. If I look at that, one is aviation and the other one is energy and transportation.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
from that particular angle, since we at UPS have about 15 specialized programs which we are offering to students, students often have a question about this, because when they are taking a decision to decide a college, they look at this specialization perspective as well, that whether they should go for a general course, they could go for a specialized course, and what advantages they draw of having an specialized program. And in fact, some of the questions also I could see in the chat box that relates to the specialization. So what would be your take in having these specialized courses, and how does it help the students in long run, and what are its benefits?
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. We should always be mindful of two things when we take up a course. We cannot ignore our general subjects, which are fundamental and foundational for any lawyer. Let's talk about Code of Civil Procedure. That's a fundamental. Indian Contract Act. These are fundamental statutes which any college will offer anyway without a student opting for it. These are mandatory subjects. These are general subjects which every student should focus on because they are foundational, as I said, constitutional law. So besides that, now is the age when you should start focusing on your interest in a particular area, particular subject. When you're dealing with these specialized subject, you will definitely create that niche for yourself. When you become a lawyer, you would have already known a subject which maybe others who've read only, or you who've studied general subjects may not know. I can say from my experience, obviously I did not have the benefit of having a special subject in my college. I did not have aviation law or energy law while I was studying, but students today have the advantage of deciding, okay, I like this subject, I have interest in aviation sector, so can I opt for this subject which is offered by UPES. UPES is also having a very good collection of energy law subjects. So should I be looking at those subjects and join UPS? The obvious answer is a yes, because then the kind of strength that will give you will be unmatched. I can now say with practical experience, we have got certain students from certain lawyers from UPS, and some of them are part of my team and other teams in our firm, JSA. And the way they are able to start the subject from the very first day is, as they say, they hit the ground running. So that's the difference a expert institution which specializes in certain fields will be able to bring to the table. I see it as quite a valuable thing to add as a student, and we must uh, enhance that skill set while we are studying law. As I said, do specialize, but don't ignore your general subjects, which may be foundational for you. So that is what I would like to say. Start focusing on expert knowledge from the very beginning. That will go a long way.
Great. Such a wonderful thoughts coming up. It is really insightful and brings us to basically the central question of the webinar. That is, what do you think students should look for while choosing a law college? I think we have covered a couple of points, but any additional points which you would like to make, Tatiana, on this, that what should they look at when they are looking at the law college? Your mic, I think, it has to be on.
Thank you, Dr. Sai. First of all, I would like to second the views of Mrs. Poonam. I think that she very rightly gave a very realistic and spot-on description of what is required in the legal profession. And is also coming from a highly experienced professional. So if I were in the shoes of these students watching us today, I would pay very much attention to whatever was said. Again, coming from a more educational perspective, choosing a law college is definitely a difficult decision. I would say that one step towards that decision, it would be for the students to decide if they would like to take a more practical or theoretical approach in their law degrees. There would be a number of law faculties offering a variety of different law courses, and they offer also a variety of different electives. I would suggest that it would be wise to take a look at the syllabus and the teaching approach and see what resonates most with the future goals that these students have. As the world is becoming more and more technological and more international, it is also important for the law college to have strong links outside the local remit. Whether that seems applicable today or not in the profession, rest assured that it will come across to the next steps of your professional lives. The requirements are becoming more and more outside our traditional practices, and the international stance of any university gives not only expertise to their students and faculty, but also modules and practical skills that they will help them develop in the future. For example, the partnership with UPES and ULO gives students the opportunity to participate in a number of activities and coming closer with the basic aspects of common law that has proven in an international context to be highly reputable and also useful skill to have, taking the expansion of international business activities, for example, and the need of international contracts and the establishment of international arbitration centers. To this extent, it is also important to know the tutors and to know the mentality and the culture of the university. Is the university student focused? Do they pay attention to the particular needs of the students? Will they be able to support during the challenging times of your studies? And do the students have the chance to meet and talk with the tutors? Do the tutors have strong experience? Are they practicing lawyers, solicitor, and judges, so they can bring you in touch with the employability side of your profession? This is the stance we very much take with the University of Law, and we have found a lot of common attributes with UPS. Therefore, our employability records of our graduates are one of the highest in the UK, but also internationally. We also place a lot of importance to give our students opportunities to receive work experience while being a student. Developing our links with UPS. We offer also a lot of opportunities of students and staff exchange that provides students with the exposure to more international practices besides following a typical curricula. And again, we redesign our courses on yearly basis to ensure that we keep good track with the advancements of technology and the profession, and also this wonderful partnership that we have now developed with UPS is developing a lot of different edges of skills that students would be able.
Great. That is actually a lot of the summary which is you have given for the things which the students should look at when they are deciding a law college. And indeed, you made some interesting points which is of very important and that relates to student engagement and experience. So it
Yes,
is
of course.
all more about student engagement and experience and how the students are engaged by their faculty, what kind of opportunities they are provided, not only in terms of the academics, but also in terms of curricular, extracurricular activities, whether there is a sufficient window for them to, persuade their hobbies, persuade their passion for maybe music or sports and all
Yep,
those particular things. So these facilities are also very, very important in a university and which we are very proud of at UPS. And definitely when the student is looking at, they are looking at these particular dimensions as well. One of the important aspect which I personally feel is which people focus nowadays is about teacher-student ratio as to how
yep,
much attention a student gets from a faculty and what kind of
of
arrangement
course.
is available in the university for the students. So in that particular account, I must tell you that there has to be some mentorship mechanism wherein the students are mentored because nowadays youth
Absolutely.
requires to channelize their energy into the things which helps them in pursue their career. Definitely, Ms. Poonam also pointed out in the beginning about the infrastructure. uh, Definitely infrastructure plays a very important role, and also a very important role is of a location where you are in a city which is safe, which is environment friendly. These are the different things which people look at. One of the important things which the student look at is also a student diversity as to how diverse is the classroom, because that also gives a lot of experience to the students in terms of having a cross cultural understanding as well as having an understanding of the concepts in a different way when they interact with this particular diverse group. So with this, any further inputs on this, Ms. Poonam, from your side as to what are the other factors which the students can?
I would
Before you begin, I would request my students to, who are there in the webinar, we are going to take up your questions one by one. Some of them we are trying to address this in this discussion. And rest of the questions which are remaining, we are going to take up one by one. You
I
can
would
keep
like
typing your questions. Yeah. Please
quickly
go ahead.
sum up. Will not take your time. I have, I think, 6 points to say what a student should be looking at while deciding a law school. So infrastructure is a very big factor. That's number one. I've already covered it. UPES has excellent infrastructure facilities. I forgot to mention the moot court rooms are world class. It actually gives you an experience of a real courtroom experience. So that's very good. I forgot to mention it earlier when I spoke about infrastructure. Second, culture. Tatiana has also covered that point. Culture is extremely important. As they say, that for better or worse, your law school friends become your family. But these are family members you actually get to choose. So choose wisely. You can, to check culture, I'm sure Dr. Vijay will be able to facilitate a trip around the campus. You can see it, you can see how the arrangements are, how's the faculty, etc. if you wish. Third would be cost. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it. Figure out what you're getting into, because you don't want to be in a situation that after you graduate your 3 years are focusing only to complete your loan, if you're looking at that, you should be looking at making a career out of the profession. You should be able to completely engross yourself in education and not worry about the money that you will be taking or your liabilities. Fourthly, location plays a very important role. Dr. Vijay has already said that it's environment friendly, etc., etc. It's a luxury in today's world to have breathe fresh air, and you get that there. And the other advantage is that the bar, Uttarakhand High Court bar, is very active. They keep coming to the campus for their lectures, for their discussions with students. Also, another benefit that UPES has is their proximity from Delhi. So lawyers like me keep traveling from the High Court, from Supreme Court. Judges travel a lot. There are two reasons for traveling. One, you get to a better place as compared to Delhi. It's when you going there, you plan 2 days, and you can also, as I said, breathe fresh air. Also, interaction with law students, and that is very fulfilling trip to Dehradun at any point in time. Fifth is the academic support programs that UPES offers. You must have a look at the programs that are offered and then make a conscious decision. Both of them have already covered a huge list of courses that are provided that also gives you international exposure. Next is the potential practice interest. The faculty, the visiting faculty, they give you that exposure of or making you think about your interest in various subjects. So you have enough opportunities to think about it and apply. The kind of specialized courses they have is huge. Please go through it, make a conscious decision, and I'm sure you will be able to pick up certain courses which will add tremendous value to you as a professional and as a person. That's it.
Great. Thank you for bringing out that particular aspect of support. And in fact, I must tell you that in terms of support of the students, there are unique programs apart from this student engagement and experience, which itself is a department which is there to support the students. We support the students at the time of placement. And I believe placement is a very big question which everyone has. And they have a lot of questions around it. So it is more of a what I personally feel as a professor, as a dean of the law school. I have understanding that if you support your students, if you provide them an opportunity, if you give them that nurturing which is required, then the students are going to make it to the maximum. And that is what happens with EDGE. This is a program called Enhanced Development for Growth and Enrichment, which is offered to the students, wherein they are trained on resume building, and they are basically told that how to craft their resume and prepare themselves for the industry, or maybe the different fields, like for example competitive examinations or different areas in which they would like to work. Other than that, there is nowadays we are talking also about one important thing called startups, and opening your own entrepreneurship and nurturing this entrepreneurs is very important. And I feel proud to say that we are having entrepreneurs in law, and they have opened the legal startups, and that is something which is a very new area. And in fact, university has a department specifically dedicated to it, which is referred to as University Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This supports and incubates the new startups which is coming up. So we get a number of students who are from business background, and they would like to go back and support their businesses. So that is also happens. And I believe that is also an area to look for when somebody is looking for career opportunity. And definitely look for an institution which supports these kinds of activities. So this is a very important thing to look at.
Also, I would just like to mention one more point. When we spoke about cost, I forgot to mention that there is something called Shakti scheme that UPES offers, which has several scholarships program, and also it provides 20% relaxation in the tuition fee to girls. So please explore all these opportunities when you make that decision.
Yeah, that's 25% exactly on the Shakti program. And Uh, One question which I could see in the chat box, and this is a very, very difficult question. I must say difficult, but a kind of a question which is grappling the students much because of the reason, and I'll tell you the reason. The reason is that there are about 60,000 students who appear for CLAT every year, and they are actually competing for less than 3,000 seats. And there are the remaining students who have a concern, and they and actually this particular, when we talk about this dimension of deciding a law college, comes to them, and the question arises that how much difference it makes for a lawyer or a legal professional from coming out of NLU and not coming out of an NLU, because I am also not from an NLU, and as far as I know, Ms. Poonam is also not from an NLU. So, so what is your take on this?
That's right, Dr. Vijay. I am not from one of the NLU colleges.
Though I
Honestly,
taught at an NLU, so that was a privilege for me. Actually, I taught at an NLU for around 2 years, so I'm aware of what happens there. But still, I could not figure out that how there is a too much of an obsession to this.
so there is nothing so good or bad about any. I
Yeah.
am not going to favor one over the other. Honestly speaking, it doesn't make a difference. Non-NLU schools today are providing same opportunities, same infrastructure as NLU colleges. Gone are the days when we used to have only NLU college to begin with, where obviously the things were top class, and that's why they've made the name that they've made. Lawyers that come out of it used to be very, very different. Even today, probably they are making those kind of students. But the comparison is not the right comparison whether a NLU graduate will be a better lawyer as compared to non-NLU. There's no comparison like that. Please take that out of your head, because it is up to you what you make of it. The subjects that you're getting in NLU colleges are almost same, or could be better in some cases, could be expert courses that are being offered like UPES. So you have to make that choice very carefully. Don't worry whether it's NLU or non-NLU. That does not make a difference. I'm repeating it. Non-NLU colleges today, in my experience, I am from non-NLU. I have many friends across the country who are from non-NLU colleges and also from NLU colleges. So we've reached a stage in life where we can now say with conviction that it really didn't make a difference. So please don't get bothered about all these issues, all these comparisons, all these competitions. No, it is up to you what you make of it. You have to be sincere. You have to have your skill set to become a good lawyer. So I personally speaking, it doesn't make a difference. And in case any student wants any specific input on NLU versus non-NLU, please feel free to reach out to me, whether during this webinar or later. I would be happy to answer your questions, so that, or I'll be happy to give you that comfort of what a non-NLU college can also provide you.
Thank you, Poonam, and I must tell you, I feel proud to be here at UPS for a simple reason. It is a great place to work, and we have the core values of respect, innovation, passion, inclusivity, and trust, which is there for everyone who is here at UPS, and this gives a lot of confidence in yourself, and the opportunities which are available in the market. Definitely, we see ourselves cut to take that particular opportunity. So it doesn't make a difference. Definitely, I agree to your point. Now I think that we should take questions, and I think there are a number of questions in the chat box. What I propose is I will take one by one from the beginning, and if I would have answered that particular question, we will skip that. And if that relates to UPS, I'll answer that, because we have participants in this webinar who are interested in UPS, and there are students who are generally looking at the law college and they want to have some guidance. So let me take this. Okay, which law is good for girls? I think Poonam, I don't think there is an answer to this. I think better you take this.
Which law is good for girls? I would like to say the law subject is very good for anybody, whether it's a girl or a boy. Please take that out of your head that as a girl, you should only
Yes.
focus on family law or you should only focus on matrimonial disputes. No, please, I would urge you to not block your thinking in such a way. Go ahead, sky is the limit. There are enough opportunities for girls, and you will see that both of us, Tatiana and me, are girls, and we are doing, at least I can say with conviction, that we're doing decently well in our professional space. So please take that out of your head. There's
I
no such.
completely second that, and I feel that there is a lot to do in this particular area of bringing this disparity which is there in the brains of people. Uh, well, and that is where the initiative which we have taken, Shakti, is there, which offers special discount to our students who are they who, who are girls, and the 25% fee discount that is there. Well, there's a question, LLM corporate law in UPS. Yes, we offer corporate law in UPS. I come from corporate law background, and we have a specialized LLM in that area. Is there an option? Defense forces, yes, you can join JAG, Judge Advocate General. That is a test which you can appear after LL.B. I think that is where an opportunity lies for you. Otherwise, you can always give the defense staff examination and then go ahead. How do you choose between law, like energy, criminal, and this? So on this particular count, see, we give you an opportunity to enroll yourself into the different programs like BA, BBA, BCom, and then later on you can choose the specialization in your third year. So this is how it works. And you will have an opportunity to interact with your faculty members, interact with your mentors, and decide yourself that which specialization will be better for you. So this is what we were talking about: student engagement and experience and support throughout. So it is not a support, one-off. In fact, I must tell you that UPS recently we have announced a support for our alumni, and that is called UConnect, wherein we are supporting our alumni for the next 5 years. Once they leave the college, we are supporting them for another 5 years, which I believe it is a very, very bold step. And that is one of the major factors I think people should consider, because generally what colleges and universities would like to do is a student have passed out, let us now leave them there. But we have taken up an initiative wherein we are trying to support our students who pass out till 5 years,